Hello friends, hi guys, my name is Jay and I am here to tell you about class 7 biology chapter 10, which is respiration in organisms. This is my first video ever. I am making a PowerPoint of this to help you understand the concept. We will start the lesson. So this is a respiration in organisms. This is a short story about respiration, as you can see. Let us start, shall we? One day, Bojo was eagerly waiting to meet his grandparents who were coming to the town after 1 year. So, since their grandparents are coming to the town after 1 whole year, he decides to visit them in the bus stop. So, he was going very early and he wanted to receive them at the bus stop. He ran very fast and reached there in a few minutes. He was breathing very rapidly, and when his grandmother saw him, his grandmother asked Bojo why he was breathing so fast. Bojo told his grandmother that he was running all the way from his home to the bus stop. But the question got stuck in his mind. He wondered why running makes a person breathe faster. The answer to Bojo's question lies in understanding why we breathe. Breathing is a part of respiration. So now we shall learn about respiration. So guys, as you can see, this is my email that I have here. I am just going to tell you that this is the email I use, and if you have any inquiries of my channel, you can send an email link. You can send me an email regarding what you wanted to, you know. So yeah, this is respiration in organisms, class 7 biology chapter 10. I repeat again, class 7 bio chapter 10. Okay guys, we will move on. So we are going to talk about what we have learned so far. So what we have learned so far is that organisms are made up of small units called cells. A cell is the smallest structural and functional unit of an organism. Each cell of an organism performs certain functions such as nutrition, transport, excretion and reproduction. To perform all these, what is required? Yes, the cell needs energy to perform all these activities. So therefore all living organisms aspire to get energy from food. During breathing, we breathe in air. Yes, you know that air contains oxygen. We breathe out air which is rich in carbon dioxide, and the air we breathe is transported to all parts of the body, but ultimately to each and every cell. In the cells, oxygen in the air helps in the breakdown of food. The process of the breakdown of food in the cell with the release of energy is called cellular respiration. Guys, please mark this as important. I have got this from the NCERT class 7 textbook. So I will also send in the link in the description if I do have the link of the textbook, but please do mark this cellular respiration as an important point, since cellular respiration is important and the concept should be understood by everyone. So it takes place in the cell of all organisms, not just not just like only one type of organisms, but all organisms. Equations. So this is some equations about respiration. We'll start. In the cell, the food, which is glucose, is broken down into carbon dioxide and water using the oxygen. When the breakdown of glucose occurs with the use of oxygen, it is called anaerobic respiration. Food can also be broken down without using oxygen. This is called, okay, sorry guys, I made a big confusion. So, with the use of oxygen is aerobic, and without the use of oxygen, breathing is anaerobic. So, breakdown of food releases energy. Yeah. You should know that there are some organisms such as yeast that can survive in the absence of air. These organisms are called anaerobes who breathe anaerobically. They get energy through anaerobic respiration. In the absence of oxygen, the glucose breaks down into alcohol and carbon dioxide is given below. So glucose without the use of oxygen makes alcohol plus carbon dioxide plus energy. Glucose with the use of oxygen makes carbon dioxide plus water plus energy. That's the difference. So you know what time it is? Yes, fact time. Every video is what I'm gonna post will have a fact time, or sometime it may not have a fact time. So yeast are single-celled organisms. They respire anaerobically and during the process yield alcohol. They therefore are used to make wine and beer. Yes, that's true. So I didn't put a caption for this title. We'll move on. Our muscle cells can also aspire anaerobically, but only for a short time, which when there is a temporary deficiency of oxygen during heavy exercise, fast running and walking out to like a lot of time and running for a long time. The demand for energy is high, but the supply of oxygen to produce the energy is limited. Then anaerobic respiration takes place in the muscle cells to fulfill the demand of energy. So you can see this equation here. Glucose in the muscle in the absence of oxygen produces lactic acid and energy. Well, plus energy. So about exercise and cramps. So have you wondered why we get muscle cramps after heavy exercise? Yes, even if I also exercise, that also happens. So the cramps on our muscle cells respire anaerobically. The partial breakdown of glucose produces lactic acid. As you saw in the equation, that in the absence of oxygen, the glucose in the muscle produces lactic acid and energy. The partial breakdown of glucose produces lactic acid. The accumulation of lactic acids causes muscle cramps. We get relief from cramp after a hot bath or a massage. Sorry, a hot water bath or a massage. So yes, hot water bath or massage improves the circulation of blood. As a result, the supply of oxygen in muscle cells increases. The increase in the supply of oxygen results in the complete breakdown of lactic acid into carbon dioxide and water. What is breathing? Breathing means taking in rich air oxygen or giving out rich air and carbon dioxide with the help of respiratory organs. The taking in of air rich in oxygen into the body is called inhalation, and giving out is called giving out air which is rich of carbon dioxide is called exhalation. So yes, many people will probably know about the concept of inhalation and exhalation, but for the people who didn't know, this is a short and brief summary for all the people who did not know or was not aware of the concept. So yes, we shall move on. The number of times what is the breathing rate? The number of times a person breathes in a minute is termed as a breathing rate. During breathing, inhalation and exhalation takes place alternately. So one breath doesn't mean one. So if we have two breaths, then that doesn't mean one inhalation and one exhalation. Does not count as two breaths, but it actually counts as one breath. Okay guys, so it actually counts as one breath. One breath means one inhalation and exhalation. So don't take the wrong idea about one breath. So this is a whiteboard that I made. Guys, also I wanted to show you to an app which is called Miro. Miro is a whiteboard which I use for which I have been using for a whole week, and it has helped me visualize a lot of things which I created this in, and I wanted to show you about Miro. Let me show you the Miro tab. Yes, as you can see, I am actually showing you the Miro tab, and you can see all of these. I actually have a public YouTube board, so I'm just going to copy the team invite link, and if you want to revise some concepts, then you can come back here and revise the concepts. So yes, that's what I want to introduce. Now let us continue. Yes, we breathe out air which is rich in carbon dioxide. The air we breathe is transported to all parts. Ultimately, we read that in the cells, glucose is broken down to carbon dioxide and water. This is all the important points that we actually, visited through. So you take a screenshot and yes, guys. Fact time part 2. On average, an adult human being breathes in and out 15 and 18 times a minute. 15, I actually don't get this. Like, what? Wait, so I think it is. Yeah, it's the breathing rate. During heavy exercise, the breathing rate can increase up to 25 times per minute. While we exercise, not only do we breathe fast, but we also take deep breaths and thus inhale more oxygen. Let us learn about the mechanism of breathing. We take in air through our nostrils, it passes through our nostrils to the nasal cavity. From the nasal cavity, it reaches the lungs through the windpipe. The lungs are present in the chest cavity and it's surrounded by ribs on the sides. There's a muscular sheet in our lungs called the diaphragm. It's not a diaphragm, not the G is actually a silent. So, yes, I will mark it as G is. I'm sorry for my handwriting. I usually don't write well in mouse. G is silent, guys. Okay. So the breathing involves the movement of diaphragm and the rib cage. When you inhale, the ribs of yours move up and the diaphragm moves up and outwards, and the diaphragm moves down. And the movement increases the space in our chest cavity and rushes into the lungs. Thus, the lungs get filled with air. And during exhalation, the ribs move down and inwards while diaphragm moves up to its former position. This reduces the size of the chest cavity and air is pushed out of the lungs. Yes, these movements in our body can be felt easily. You take a deep breath, you keep your palm on the abdomen and feel it. What do you find? Tell me in the comments below, or you can email me of any questions and I shall reply to you immediately. So this is the fact time part 3. So yeah, the air around us has unwanted particles. When we inhale, the particles get trapped in our nostrils, and they may get past the hair in the nasal cavity. It may irritate the lining of the cavity, which makes us sneeze. Sneezing expels these foreign particles from the inhaled air and a dust-free clean air enters our body. When you sneeze, you should cover your nose so that the foreign particles you expel are not inhaled by other people around you. That is why it is told to sneeze with your mouth around you or with a handkerchief. Just make sure to cover your nose. So we're going to study about respiration in animals. So these animals, such as elephants, lions, cows, goats, and all these, have lungs in their chest cavities like humans. How do other animals breathe? If you ask, do they also have lungs like a human beings? Alright, we're going to find out. There is a breathing in cockroach. So this cockroach has a small opening on the side. Other insects, this is only for insects, guys. They have a network of tubes for gas exchange. So oxygen-rich air through the spiracles rushes through the spiracles into the tracheal tubes, diffuses into the body tissue and reaches every cell of the body. Similarly, carbon dioxide from the cells goes into the tracheal tubes and moves out through spiracles. These air tubes or tracheae are found only in insects and not in any other group of animals. This is the tracheae in a cockroach. This is the body of a cockroach and this is the tracheal system. The earthworms. The earthworms breathe through their skins, that is why it feels moist and slimy. So gases can easily pass through them. Frogs can breathe through their skin and water and they breathe through the lungs in the land. This is breathing underwater. So yes, there are many organisms which live in water. How do they breathe? Well, you know that the gills in the fish, these gills in this fish helps breathe. You may wonder how gills help in breathing. So yes, gills are well supplied with blood vessels for exchange of gases. Okay guys, plants also respire like all living cells of the plants. The root cells also need oxygen to generate energy. Roots take up the air from the air spaces present between the soil particles. Figure 10.11. These are the keywords of the whole lesson and this is an activity for you guys. So you have my email down below, right? In the screen you have my email, right? cbseguidej@gmail.com. Please make sure to email me in that account. You have all these questions here, right? Yeah, so you make sure to take a screenshot of this, fill out all of these words, and write down the answers below. um, I want you to find out and do this fun activity. And yes, guys, that's it. And this biology chapter 10 is finished in around 16 or 15 minutes. Thank you for watching this video. I am very happy that you guys are learning a lot of things. And make sure to comment below what should I make next. I'm thinking of making civics. So yes, guys, bye. I'll see you in the next lesson.